Happy New Year! Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're brand new here. Hello, how are you doing? Happy New Year! It's the 1st of January 2021! How exciting! I hope that you're enjoying your first day of the year. I'm recording this in the past, so in 2 weeks, this video will come out on the 1st of January, and on the 1st of January, my boyfriend is going to be working, so that means that future Emma, so the present Emma that you're now watching, this is confusing. On the 1st of January, Emma's boyfriend is going to be working, so she's going to be alone on this day. She's going to be spending the first day of 2021 completely alone, and she has spent many first of January's completely alone because her boyfriend normally works. So to all the people that are alone as well on this day, don't worry, I'm also alone, and hopefully this video can keep you somewhat entertained for a while. The question that I'm going to talk about in this video is, how do I learn English? How to learn English, how to learn a language in general. It's not just restricted to English, it's for any language. And I'm going to break this video down into 3 parts. So I'm going to talk about 3 tips, because humans like to work in rules of 3. So I'm going to talk about 3 things that you can start doing today to improve your English in general, not just your pronunciation. I know I normally focus on pronunciation, but in general, what can you do to improve your English? Before I get started though, I would just very quickly like to talk about the Pronunciation Pro membership site, which is open right now, and the doors close in just a few days. They close on the 3rd of January, so really soon. And so far, people have been very happy with this. I'm so happy with how this has been received by everyone. I also have some testimonials from the beta testers and the current members. So if you're interested to see what they have to say about it, they will all be in the link below, the first link that's in the description. And if you want any other information about it, there's more information below. I also nearly forgot to mention that you do get a private one-to-one chat with me every single month to talk about any pronunciation questions you have, listening questions, basically anything related to the membership. So included in the monthly fee, you get access to all the lessons, recordings, and downloadable PDFs. You get feedback on your recordings, daily recordings, I need to stress that, and also a one-to-one session with me to talk about whatever you want related to pronunciation. So if all of that sounds like your cup of tea, I'm going to leave a link below in the description, and please go and check it out because the doors are going to close really soon. So if that sounds like a good opportunity and something you're interested in, it's there. Go and click the link. So this has been like the world's longest intro. I'm very sorry, but I just wanted to say all of that and talk about Pronunciation Pro because a lot of people have been asking about it, and I've been working on it so hard. Only me. It's only me still doing it. I don't have a team. I feel like everyone has a team, and it's just me and my hamster, and that's literally it. So I just wanted to mention that. But let's get started with point number 1. So you can start doing this right now. You don't need to think about this too much. What are your hobbies? And what are your interests? Don't say learning languages. Don't say English. Don't say learning English. I'm talking about outside of languages. What are your interests and what are your hobbies? Do you really enjoy football? Do you really like basketball? Do you like watching basketball on TV? Do you play basketball? Do you enjoy watching vloggers on YouTube in your spare time, in your native language, of course? Do you like chess? Do you like video games? Do you like watching films? Do you like documentaries about crime? What are your interests? I'm just gonna give you some time to think about that. What are interests? Tell me. Tell me what your interests are. Interesting. Once you have pinpointed what your interests are and what your hobbies are, I would now like you to find some things that you can do that are related to those hobbies and interests. So let's imagine, for example, you enjoy cooking, okay? You enjoy cooking, you love finding out about different recipes. Maybe you're interested in veganuary. So if you're interested in going vegan, for example, or even vegetarian, then maybe you want to find out some new recipes for that. Instead of looking for the recipes in your native language or languages, try and find them in English instead. Let's say you're really interested in... Oh, ambulances, I do apologise. Let's say you're really interested in murder mystery books and novels and things like that. And of course you read them in your own language, your first language or languages. Instead of finding books about murder mystery in your first language, have a look for them in English. Maybe you're really interested in politics, so you start watching political debates, but in English. Or maybe you're really interested in technology, advances in technology, AI, this kind of stuff. What are the latest PC games, things like that. You can watch some people on Twitch playing video games in English. You can watch some YouTube reviews in English. You can buy or read online. I mean, you don't need to really buy anything. Everything's online. You can find some articles that are about technology, that talk about topics you like. Maybe every single morning when you wake up, you read the news in your language. Instead, read the news in English. Or better, read them in both your native language and in English, and you'll be able to get the gist of the story, of course, from the first one. You understand what the story is about, and then you can kind of test your comprehension, see how much you can understand with the English story. Sometimes newspapers in different countries write things very differently and from different perspectives, so it also helps open your world up to another perspective. Now, I'm offering these kinds of things as ideas, but no doubt you probably have other things that you're really interested in. Maybe it's like podcasts, watching Match of the Day. One of my students used to always watch Match of the Day because he was really into football. But the important thing here is that you are doing these things in English. I'm not talking about sitting with a book and studying really hardcore and, memorizing all the tenses, because that's really boring. There is a time and place for that, and if you do that every day, you're eventually going to burn out and you're going to lose interest and motivation in English, I promise you. But if you start integrating English into your life just through little daily activities, it can be as simple as changing your phone's language into English. It's as simple as that. Start integrating English into your life little by little, and you will see improvements. The third tip I want to mention is to set small goals. The reason why many people get overwhelmed when they are learning any language is because they don't know where to start. And when they do start, they think, oh my god, I've started with all the tenses in present simple that are irregular, and there are loads of them. There are hundreds of irregular verbs that I need to learn. How am I going to learn all of these? How am I going to learn the conjugation? Blah, blah, blah. And you just need to take a step back and chill out. Just calm down, because I think the reason why we think like this, that we want to learn as fast as possible and we want to, learn 100 verbs in 10 minutes and things like that, is because of a lot of crappy marketing that's been around. A lot of marketing has kind of made us believe that we can learn a language in 30 days and sound like a native in 5 days and speak like a native in 2 days and speak like a native if you join my WhatsApp group. That was the weirdest one I found. In 5 days as well. Imagine speaking like a native from a WhatsApp group in 5 days. Just imagine. My god, I would be rich if I could do that and help many people. You would be rich. Capitalize on that. But the thing is that it's a load of bull. It's not real. It's absolute bull. And it just doesn't work. We have seen so much marketing like this that we're kind of believing it. We are believing as learners, because I'm a learner as well, of English. Even though I consider it my native language, I'm still learning English every day. But we still read these things get fluent in 30 days, sound like a native in 5 days, and so on. And we trick ourselves and we think, if they are saying that we can sound like a native in 30 days, why don't I sound like a native in 30 days? It's because it's not true! If we could sound native, or if we could get fluent in a language in 30 days, we would all be fluent in like 10 plus languages. Haven't you ever thought about that? Like, if it were actually possible, we would all be fluent in 10 plus languages. It just shows that this kind of marketing is absolute bull. But anyway, that's my rant. I'm gonna go back to point number 3. I know that these videos always turn out super ranty, but going back to point number 3, you need to set little achievable goals. So like I mentioned before, I said sometimes when you start trying to learn something, let's say you're trying to learn about, I don't know, the past simple tense or whatever, you're trying to find like irregular past simple verbs, and then you stumble across a list of like 200 of them. You go on YouTube and you find a video that's like, learn 100 verbs in 10 minutes, da 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 da. And they're great resources, but do not ever expect yourself to remember all of them in 10 minutes and in, 20 minutes in a day or something like that. Set a very achievable goal. So for example, just set yourself the task of learning 1 verb a day. And you may be thinking, Emma, 1 verb isn't much. 1 verb a day. Imagine if you learn 1 verb a day across an entire month. Let's say it's a month of, 30 days, for example. That's 30 new verbs that you've learned. 30 new verbs that you have learned. You can memorize the 30 verbs at the beginning, and then another 30, and then another 30, and another 30, and then by the time it gets to day 5, you're burnt out because you've tried to memorize literally 200 verbs in like 5 days. Just learn a verb a day. Just 1. And just write it in your notepad on your phone, or physically write it down if it helps. Set little goals. Imagine you like podcasts. Maybe you do. You love podcasts. So instead, your task for the day is just listen to 1 podcast. Don't worry about picking out vocabulary, writing stuff down. Just listen to it. Just relax. Sit back. Have a cup of tea, cup of coffee, a beer, a cider, a gin, whatever your drink of choice is. And just relax and listen to it. And those 10 minutes, 20 minutes, however long that podcast is, just use that time to sit and listen and just chill out a little bit. So I don't want this video to get too long, but as a little recap, find out what your hobbies and interests are. Start doing little things in your daily routine in English that relate to your hobbies. So if you enjoy football, instead of watching the football in your native language, watch it in English, for example. And point number 3 is to set very small, realistic goals. But I'm talking like tiny, tiny goals. I'm not talking about memorize these 10 verbs today and learn all these 10 verbs. If you want to do that, you can, but I promise you will start getting burnt out. Once you take a step back and you realize this is a lifelong journey, I've got a lot of time to learn English. I don't need to learn all these verbs in 10 minutes. I can learn these verbs across 10 days, and then they will stick in your memory for longer because you're keeping them in your long-term memory rather than just the short term, and then moving on to the next 10 and moving on to the next 10. When you learn that 1 verb, try and think how you can use that during the day, and then it will stay in your long-term memory more. Tiny goals. Tiny, minute size goals. That's what you need to focus on. As I said, I don't want this to get too long because it's already a bit ranty, but the 3 tips are there. Please let me know what things you're interested in and what your hobbies are and what do you do to improve your English. What of your hobbies and interests do you do in English? As I mentioned before, one of my students loved football, so he used to watch Match of the Day in English. Do you do anything like that? Do you like chess and so you play chess online with people and talk to them on Discord or whatever? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. As a little reminder, don't forget that the doors for Pronunciation Pro close very, very soon. So if you want access to over 70 lessons, which are growing rapidly, you want daily feedback on your pronunciation and listening skills, and you'd like a one-to-one session with me every month privately just to talk about any questions you have or practice something you have difficulties with, the link and more information will will be down below in the description. The doors will open again, so don't worry if you can't join now, but they will probably open again in a few months. As I said, probably Easter time. Let's see, depends how busy things are, because so far it's just me running everything. I don't have a team, it's just me and my hamster, and he doesn't really do much. Doesn't even answer emails, just sleeps all day. So basically it's just me. Anyway, have a fantastic day, have a fantastic year, and I will see you next lesson. That's all I'm going to finish with. See you later, bye bye.